Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Chicago is heating up, you guys. I mean, it's on fire, for real. With this episode 7, 411 breakdown, first thoughts with Faye, Renee, Power. Let's do it right now. Okay, last week we left off with Detective Vargas, who was following Vic around so close, it was like white on rice. And Vic is serious as hell about growing his business legitimately with CBI. So Vic doesn't know quite what to do about the feds yet. And Tommy and Maria, they had sealed the deal and are madly in love and still getting it on at every chance. Since Walter Flynn was murdered, the entire North Side is wide open, and Diamond and Tommy are carefully devising a big takeover plan of the North Side along with the CBI coalition, and they also are preparing for that big upcoming coalition meetup to get everyone on board. Now, Jannard and Shantae were included in the CBI takeover, but they also have plans of their own to take Tommy out after CBI has been rebuilt. Whew. The Serbs made a huge surprise move and shot up the Crimson Street projects in order to regain power on the South Side and to keep Tommy and CBI at bay from even thinking about coming to the North Side. Oh boy. And finally, last time we saw JP, he was crying in his beer over D-Mac, and Kate is still out there somewhere AWOL on a bench, we think. So here we go. Episode 7, opening scene. Early morning, Tommy and Maria cannot keep their hands off each other, and they are in the heat of things at Tommy's place when Maria's crazy brother Miguel shows up banging on the front door. Maria jumps out the bed and hides, and Tommy lets Miguel in. And Miguel is in a foul mood, and he's pacing back and forth, almost sniffing the room. Like he recognizes the scent of his own sister. I mean, really, after 30 years or so, he might. But Miguel tells Tommy he is really concerned about their common enemy, the Serbs. And he gives Tommy a directive. Stand down, Tommy, until we know what the play is. Miguel says he's going to take it up the chain and talk to Shay about it, and that they will decide how to handle the Serbs. Tommy cool with that. Back over at Diamond's place, that damn parole officer shows up again, unexpectedly, for another piss test. And Diamond complies, and he tells Diamond, I'm really impressed with you, Diamond. So much so I think you're a good role model. He has volunteered Diamond to speak at a fundraiser they're having to raise money for the Crimson Street projects since the big blow up by the Serbs. He further explains to Diamond that you need to denounce CBI when you're up there. And Diamond's like, that's a damn death sentence. I can't do that. But the parole officer explains, Diamond, this would really help out your parole review that's coming up and get them off your ass for good. I guarantee it. So Diamond is considering speaking. Now, back downtown at USA Stacy's office, she's meeting up with Detective Franco and expressing her dismay at the fact that Vic is giving her intel, but she says all of the intel has nothing to do with Tommy. Vic playing games with her and she don't like it. So Stacy says, I want to press Vic further, and DeFranco tells her that's not a good idea. Anyway, so just then, the DOJ rep Lori Lewis busts in the meeting, and she's really upset. She's upset about all this violence going on at the Crimson Housing Projects and the innocent bystanders being shot and burnt up and everything on the street. And she threatens JC's livelihood. She said, if you don't come through and tap some of this crime in Chicago, you're going to lose your job. I mean, simple as that. But Lori backs down a little bit when she learns that Stacy has an ongoing RICO investigation on Egan as the head of the whole CBI gang. And she further tells Lori, we know that all the drug roads leads to the Estrada cartel. That could be a big arrest. That's Shay and Miguel. So Lori says, okay for now, but I want some results because, results talk and bullshit walks. So now Stacy is afraid that she really is not working the Vic angle hard enough. And she wants them to bring Vic in. Damn. Back down on the south side at the gym, Shantae and Jannard's right-arm man, Raheem, he tells Shantae that the crew been talking about this and that, and we think Jannard is screwed up and that maybe you've been digmatized by Jannard and you can't see shit straight, and we worry about the whole crew and the Garfield Park crew and everything. Shantae got so mad, and y'all remember Shantae is strong. In one fell swoop, Shantae took that guy down by the neck with a chokehold like a cop, And she told him, the next time you don't have my back, Raheem, and you let folks betray me and Jannard and talk shit about us behind our back, it's your ass. And then she says, yeah, I'm that bitch. This woman is tough city. That's why she the head of Garfield Park. And then she starts whistling Dixie all crazy and shit to Raheem about how she's smarter than everybody else. Yeah, we're going to see about that, Shantae. We shall see. Now, finally, it's time for the big coalition meeting to take place at the beautifully restored old Regal Theater in Chicago. Fantastic film location, by the way, Power. Y'all know what you're doing. Diamond takes the lead and he lays the facts out straight out. He tells all these guys, we got to keep this operation moving, even though Crimson Projects got shot up. The Serbs did put a major dent in how we going to move weight, so we got to take that product to a new side of town. They're going further west. He said, forget about the Serbs and the revenge. For now, we got to lay low. Well, they got all upset. And then Tommy steps in and try to settle all these frisky young men down and make them understand. You got to handle your men. It's the only way to get more product and back up as a coalition. We all here repping, but let's move as one. And then he lets them know the big, great news that they got Shantae Showstopper too. They didn't know that. So now all they need is Humboldt Park, and Tommy and Diamond going to visit the DSDs. That's the Division Street Devils game. And they're going to tell them that we got Humboldt Park and to get on board. So Tommy is making a case that every motherfucking crew in the Chi going to fall in line. Boom. Now I realize that Vic is in this meeting and he repping Northside. And all this info Stacy would love to have, but Vic ain't telling that shit. Not really. Not yet on CBA, but shit about to change. Now, out of all the crew leaders there at the coalition meeting, Big Mouth Jannard is the most ignorant and obstinate. Just keeping up stuff. What about the Serbs, Tommy? What about? And Tommy didn't already answer this shit. Tommy said, look, that shit gonna be handled all the way at the top. So Tommy and Diamond go back to the crib and discuss the coalition meeting. And Tommy let Diamond know about Miguel visiting him early in the morning. And that he suggested to Miguel, cut them fucking Serbs off. Because the Serbs will never expect Miguel to do that. And Miguel liked the plan. So Diamond is really skeptical. Meanwhile, Shantae is playing a big backdoor move. Shantae shows up to Claudia's penthouse and offers to run the pill hustle with Claudia. The same pill hustle that Jannard turned down last week. Damn. Shantae convinces Claudia that she knows those highfalutin club folks and that she could have her girls move their pills through better than anybody. Shantae lets Claudia know that she's there independently of Jannard and anybody, but that she got the distro that Claudia needs and Claudia got the connect. So why not make a deal? And they shake 50-50 split. Oh my God. Wait till Vic and Tommy find that shit out. Woohoo! Okay, so back at Crazy Stacy's office, she is really freaking out. And she tells the detective to Franco and C, let's push Vic a bit harder. I need more heat on Vic's ass to give me more info. And they try to tell Stacy, you have Vic exactly where you want him. Quit it. So over at Che's place, Miguel shows up for the meetup. And of course, Che is mad as hell about the Crimson Street Project's attack and the infighting with the Serbs. Che says, you know, Miguel, y'all fucking up the business. Miguel fights back and says, Che, you know what? It's the Serbs that's the one that keeps starting this shit. They keep coming to my house, shooting at us. They came and shot at the Crimson products and the people. And they even stole my product, and I have never retaliated. We need to cut them bitches off. Everything. The Serbs are weak and a burden on the city. And then Miguel even brags that he's moving triple the weight. And that's because of Tommy, y'all. He tells Che, you know, the Serbs are a dying breed. Let them starve to death, Che. They fucking deserve it. Che does go and meet up with the Merc down at one of the underground L stations in Chicago. That's the train station, y'all. He tells the Merc straight up, we've been dealing with you guys 20 years. And burning down a building full of customers at the Crimson Projects is just unacceptable. You must end this war with Miguel. Y'all, Merc is bold. And the Merc looks Che in the eye and said, I refuse to let anybody to tell me how to run my business and protect my interests, especially when they still in my territory. And Che is like, okay, how about this? You're not going to have nothing to fight for. Not for the Strata family cartel. I am going to teach you a lesson, Merc. I am going to cut off your supply until you're so hungry that you're on your knees begging me Shay, give me my product back. Merc smiles and says, I don't kneel. Shay's like, okay, let everyone know this. The serfs go hungry from now on. Merc is like, this is big time war now. Shay cut the serfs off just like that. No more connect. Okay, so back down at Tommy, he gets a hot text. Merkovich has been cut off. Yes, Lord. Tommy happy as all get out. And over at Shantae's, Jannard and Shantae just did the thing. And Jannard gets itchy for a fix and lies to Shantae to say he got to go take a walk. Yeah, right. Nope. Nope. Outside over at Vienna Red Hots, Tommy is getting introduced to eating Chicago-style hot dogs, ketchup and all. He's still hanging out day to day with Northside Vic so he can get the run of the land. So Tommy hands Vic a new burner. Again, of course, because Tommy's ultra careful. And he tells Vic, we got to switch up randomly now. We got to keep the feds off our back. And Vic is like, you think they can listen to our burners? And Tommy said, can't be too careful. We stand one step ahead of them at all times because they watching us. Don't look now, Vic, but see that gray Ford across the street? So Tommy goes to visit Shantae at the gym to meet her for the first time. And outside, Vic is on the phone speaking to Detective Vargas, explaining to him, y'all need to get off my ass. And Vargas is saying, Stacy needs to see you right now. But back inside the gym, Tommy tells Shantae that he's there to collect what Garfield Park got to offer. First time meeting Shantae, who became a real smart ass. And Tommy's like, you make an offer to work with me and CBI, a deal's a deal. And Shantae then plays nice and fakes with Tommy. And Tommy explains, I know you stuck with your boyfriend, Jannard, but loyalty is a virtue. And I reward that all day long. So the initial meeting comes to a good close. But Shantae do not like Tommy, y'all. But I know Tommy keeping an eye on her. I can feel it. Back out on the street, Vic explains to Detective Vargas, Tommy made your ass today. Y'all too damn close. And the detective insists again, you got to come in and see Stacy ASAP. At the car, Tommy says to Vic, let's roll, but I'm going solo for the rest of the day. And he drops Vic off because he's still keeping Vic a bit far, like he should, until he's 100% sure of Vic's loyalty. Meanwhile, Jannard is walking down the street with one of his right-hand men, Raheem, who was just visiting Shantae earlier when Shantae beat his ass. Raheem is telling Jannard, I'm not good with that white boy Tommy running this shit. We used to control this for 15 years. And he's trying to encourage Jannard to revolt. And Jannard tells Raheem, man, look, go get me that clean gun. Like he actually gonna do something to Tommy. Meanwhile, as soon as Raheem leaves Jannard, he starts talking to one of the pushers, and the pusher's trying to get Jannard to buy more dope. Jannard is very nervous, and he tells the guy, get the fuck away from me. I don't do that shit no more. But I think Jannard is still on it. He's so hooked, y'all. Now, Tommy calls Diamond and tells him the good news that he got the West Side deal sold up with the meeting, so get ready. Now, meanwhile, Diamond goes to check in on his protege, Leon, bearing gifts, and cute Mama Gianna comes home, and you can tell both Gianna and Leon are so happy to see Mr. Diamond visit. And Diamond tells them all about the Crimson Street Project fires and invites them to hear him speak at the Crimson Street fundraiser coming up. They're like, okay, we're going to be there. But this is strange. Diamond asks young Leon for some speaking tips. And Leon advises Diamond, just tell the truth, and the audience will know. Bet. Now, later at the so-called exclusive strip club, Shantae is dressed to kill in a red dress, and her girls are there working that club and pushing them pills. And Claudia and her buddy Eloise, they're relaxing and happy about the connection, and they enjoying themselves sitting on the sofa when two nice, good-looking gentlemen walk up to them and actually pull a knife on Claudia and Eloise and demand their jewelry. Both women, of course, take their jewelry off and give it to the fellas quite discreetly. And they tell Claudia and Eloise, keep your fucking mouth closed, or we're going to follow you home and cut your throats. Uh-oh. And then those two dum-dums, instead of leaving, they go into another private room at the club and continue having fun. Big fucking mistake. Now back downtown, Vic finally comes in to see Miss Stacy. And he is tired of this bullshit. And he's telling Stacy, I've done everything you asked. I'm getting as close to Tommy as anybody can. And Stacy says, no, you have missed multiple meetings, and you don't even want to give updates to Detective Vargas. And Vic is like, you guys are too close. You're hovering over my shoulder, and you're going to get me killed. And Stacy says, I got news for you, Mr. Vic. You are not running this operation, and you're going to do exactly what we tell you to do. Stacy said, What's up with Tommy's phone, Vic? We seem to have lost track of it. And Vic tells Stacy, Tommy's a professional. He's always switching the phone. So Stacy's like, you know what, Vic? What is Tommy's bigger plan? Is he running the show now above CVI? And Vic relents. He reluctantly says, well, sort of. Tommy's using CBI as a way to get into all the gangs working for him. It's really been his main goal since he got to Chicago. And then that dumb Vic tells her further about the meetup set for the Division Street Devils the next day. What a stupid ass. Stacy got so excited, y'all, and immediately orders Detective Vargas, wire Vic up. Vic is like, hell no. And Stacy explains, it's a new day, Vic. This is a modern style wire. You wear a simple chain necklace. Back at Tommy's crib, Tommy is chilling, waiting for Maria. And crazy Gennard is sitting outside across the street from Tommy's place, spying on him with this little gun, sweating and all doped up. And then jackpot. He spots Maria walking up to Tommy's, and that bastard Gennard is like, I got you, motherfucker. I got you, Tommy. And Gennard forgets about shooting Tommy and instead snaps a picture of Tommy and Maria together. Gennard knows that it's worth gold for him and Shantae when they decide to make a move on CBI and Tommy. Down at the club, Shantae finds out about Claudia being robbed and goes directly into the private sex room to confront the two idiot men that did this. Shantae says, nigga, this is my house. Give my friends back their shit and apologize. And this stupid guy thinks he's going to mess with Shantae and beat her up or something. But Shantae whoops his ass seriously and gets the jewelry back while Claudia is standing there salivated and in fucking love with Shantae now for sure. Over at Miguel's, Tommy and Diamond come back for another re-up. But this time they ask Miguel for more product at a lesser price. Tommy says, come on, Miguel, let's renegotiate. But Tommy lets Miguel know they're moving more weight than ever because they've locked up more than the south side of the city. They've got the prisons, and they're looking for the next supply at better prices because with the serves cut off now, that means mega cash for everybody. He's trying to sell to Miguel, let's be a one-stop shop. Payments and re-ups. You get us the extra product, Miguel, we do all the work. Miguel likes this shit. He says, okay. But Tommy, if you fuck this deal up, my neck will be on the line with the cartel. Listen, I promise both of y'all motherfuckers' necks will be on my kitchen table if you fail me. And Miguel is damn dead serious. Diamond's getting ready for his big speech tomorrow, and Tommy says, you go do that, man, and I'm going to go alone to DSD to make the deal. Wow. So back at Claudia's, Shantae and Claudia are dividing up this ton of cash where they sold like a zillion pills at the private club. Shantae is happy with a sack full of cash, and so is Claudia. They both agree to keep it off CBI's radar and to keep it going. Next day at the Crimson Street Project fundraiser, Diamond has on a nice suit and everything. He gets up on the podium and introduces himself to the neighborhood as David Sampson, not Diamond. He confesses to the crowd about his 15 years locked up and appeals to them in his speech. Diamond remembers what Leon told him, and he goes for the truth, and he tells them all. He did a lot of bad things in his life, but he did his time. He served his time, and now that he has a second chance, he's not going to throw it away. He further tells the people, fight for the life you want, and the crowd just loves it. So does Gianna. They fallen in love, y'all. Diamond's speech was really good, and because he embraced the change he was making, he didn't really have to actually verbally denounce CBI. So I hope that gets the parole board to leave him alone. And he and Gianna are getting closer and closer, and he finally invites her out to dinner. Yes. Now, Vic is on a park bench with Detective Vargas, who's explaining how the wire works on Vic's neck, while they're both waiting for Tommy. And then the detective gives Vic a tracker even to put on Tommy's car. Damn, this is just too much for Vic, y'all, for real. It really is. Over at Miguel's house, he and his grandmother sit down to have dinner. And she tries to give Miguel some unexpected advice and unwanted about how his grandfather commanded with fear and respect. But when he got complacent and trusted too much, that's what took him out. She says, Miguel, trust is like blood in the water to piranhas. The grandmother is evil, but the thing is, evil knows evil. And then the grandmother tells Miguel that Tommy Egan is going to come for your spot next. And he says, Grandmother, Egan can't come for my spot. He never even met Jay. So you got to be 2 steps ahead of Tommy. Miguel assures his grandmother that the Garcias are about to become the only connect in the Shy. Oh my God. Now, Tommy goes to the big DSD meeting and he gets a hell of a greeting as they knock out one of his back windows on the drive in. They are dangerous as hell, and the leader's name is Chavo, who was really happy to meet Tommy because Tommy's reputation has preceded him all the way up to the west side and further. Tommy introduces himself to Chavo and introduces Vic, and Chavo's like, yeah, I already know who Vic is. This meeting, y'all, is edgy and intense. It turns out this Chavo is as crazy as Miguel, but he's younger and a little bit more smarter than Miguel, I think. So when Tommy tells him the deal would be really sweet with more money and the serves are cut off, Chavo is highly enlightened by this info and says he never liked the serves in the first damn place and that he likes Tommy's style. Chavo says, fuck the serves, but I do like dealing with them more than Miguel. Uh-oh. He says Miguel thinks that he's better than him because Miguel is Mexican and Chavo is Puerto Rican. Oh my God. Tommy price is beating Miguel's price. So Chavo didn't make the connection that the connect really is Miguel. And Tommy left that little fact out. Oops. Now, after making the deal, Tommy texts Diamond, DSD is I in. And that's really great. I mean, Tommy's sewing this damn city up left and right. Now, that evening, Gianna shows up to Diamond's place for a hot date. And she didn't care, y'all. She went for that big hunk. She said, let's stay in. She dropped that coat, and she was ready. Now, what are you going to do about C.O. Kendra? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Anyway, Shantae goes home to Jannard and tells him she got great news and a big bag of money she made with Claudia on the side. And Jannard says, all right, you really something, but guess what? I got news bigger and better than yours. And he shows Shantae that picture of Tommy hugged up with Maria. And he wants to put Tommy on blast. And Shantae is like, no, Jannard, never interrupt your enemy when he finna make a big mistake like that. Let's let Tommy fuck himself up and just watch. Finally, at the end of a very long and successful day, Northside Vic and Tommy are so happy with the deal they made with the DSDs. Tommy drives Vic to his car, and Tommy pulls off. But you know, Tommy's smart, so Tommy circles the block just to see, sure enough, that damn Fed, Detective Vargas, is still watching him. Meanwhile, Vic goes into the alley to talk to the detective. Vargas is telling Vic that Stacy wants more of an update, and both of their asses get busted. No other than Tommy Gun Tommy. Tommy walks up with his gun drawn and says, what the fuck is up? Are you a fucking snitch, Vic? Vic is so scared he puts both hands up in the air and he says, Tommy, ain't no snitch. I don't know this motherfucker. He just rolled up on me. Tommy says, only one way to prove you ain't no snitch, Vic. You put a bullet in that motherfucker right now. Do it. Detective Vargas says, Vic, you don't have to do this. Last words. Vic is quick on the draw and blows Detective Vargas away. Oh my God. Now, Chicago really is heating up.
Hey, I know that was fire. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? We would love to have you join the family of reviews with Faye, Renee, and don't miss the next hot, crazy review coming your way. And don't forget to check our social below. We are everywhere. And I'll see you guys all right back here next week for a brand new episode breakdown of Power First Thoughts with Faye, Renee. It'll be episode 8, only 3 more to go. Do not miss. And that's it, that's all. This is Faye, Renee. Holla!